So, John, why don't we talk about your topic?
Do-
Why AI is going to kill your business.
Do you really think I read your emails? Fucking hell. Whoa, that's way up there in cloud cuckoo land, that is.
I reckon you do.
You reckon I do?
I reckon you do.
You know denial, don't you? It's not a river running through Egypt.
You're the one denying that you read them. I'm not denying anything. I'm making an assumption.
An assumption?
An assumption.
An assumption?
An assumption.
This could go on for a long time, couldn't it?
Yeah, we're a pair of stubborn fuckers. We'd more than happily do that for half an hour and then say, right, that's the podcast done.
Right,
Hollywood
so, yeah.
lose our shit at us. We can tell shiz away.
I know, because everything works properly. Yeah, so there's three reasons. I mean, AI is going to kill your business if you're not careful. Although not for the reasons you think it is. Because, and I say that because a lot of people, especially freelancers, are panicking over AI and what it can and can't do. And to the point, it's now, there are now politicians and quangos and other committees being formed to kind of regulate all this stuff. And it's fucking dangerous because regulation in panic is not a good way to make laws. It just isn't. You know, you're legislating for emotional reasons is not good. All right. So AI is going to be damaging for your business because you're worrying about and panicking. Well, you shouldn't panic anyway. It's not beneficial, but you're worrying about and focusing on the wrong things. Okay. People seem to be of the opinion, if I don't grasp AI now, if I don't get in on the ground floor, it's going to be too late and I'm going to be on the outside. It's the FOMO thing, fear of missing out. It's nothing more than that. It was the same with, do you remember Clubhouse?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, Clubhouse. It was the same for all new things. And if you doubt me on this, just do this little test. Go onto LinkedIn and then think back. Well, first think back about 6 months and think how many people in their tagline, their headline, whatever you'd like to call it, had themselves described as AI experts. I bet you didn't see one ever. It just wasn't there. Unless you were actually an AI technology person, like a programmer or something, an expert, or you studied these things. It just wasn't there. Now, you go onto LinkedIn and there's all these people with AI expert this, prompt expert, AI that. They're coming out the fucking woodwork. They're like the life coaches of the mid-90s. Or the late 90s and the early thousands. The early 2000s. You know, it's saying that everyone then was a life coach because that was a newfangled thing. And then not many years later, everyone was a fucking website designer. Okay. Well, it's now everyone's an AI expert and it's embarrassing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you do know how to write AI prompts, they can be incredibly useful. That is a skill in and of itself. And some of these crib sheets on how to write AI prompts are quite useful. But AI is not going to take your business over, and if you don't get involved or au fait with AI and become an expert on AI, you will honestly, I promise you, you're not going to lose your business because of it. You know, I'd be very, very surprised if anybody did. The reason being, there's a fundamental misunderstanding of what AI is. I mean, ChatGPT. This is going to change in the near future, I believe. But ChatGPT's database is what, 3 years old, 2 years old, something like that.
They've just released ChatGPT 5 in the US, which is a little less old. I think it's like a year old or something.
Right. So you know, it's and all it's doing is it's a curator basically. It's not got real intelligence. So you know, I get sick and tired of saying this to people. You know, if you are that bad at your job, you can be replaced by a tool. That's all it is, a tool which can suck in an enormous amount of data, summarize it, and spit it out in a natural language way. In natural language, if you can be replaced by that, then you're not very good at your job, and you should be worried. Yes, and the answer then is to upskill yourself. So that's what people should be worried about. They should be asking the question: okay, can I be replaced by a tool? Can my work be replaced by a tool which can draw on the massed sum of knowledge of humanity online 2 years ago, okay, and are able to summarize that, can I be replaced by a tool that does that in my work? If you can, then yeah, you should be worried. If you can't, please don't worry. So if you're a bricklayer, I promise you, AI is not going to destroy your business.
No.
It's not going to destroy our business too, because the stuff we talk about behind closed doors. Chat GPT, even real time Chat GPT, for instance, like the Google Bard replacement, or the competitor, which has real-time access to the internet. Even that won't be able to come out with the insights we come out with, because the stuff we talk about and produce is, one, it's kept behind closed doors, and two, it relies on human intuition and the kind of cognitive leaps that AI at the moment certainly cannot make. Most people can't fucking make it, let alone AI. That's what you should be focused on. Upskilling yourself, becoming an expert in a very narrow field of expertise.
If you're someone who works in a field where, and you now feel like AI is starting to tread on your toes, perhaps with video editing or photo editing or podcast editing, they're the areas I see that are shit scared about this a lot. There's never been a better time to, as John just said, up level yourself and start thinking, right, how can I build out a consulting arm of this? Because if it's going to make the thing more accessible, more people are going to be doing it. But AI is never going to be able to give it to them perfectly, exactly how they want it. So then you'll come in at the very end as an expert, because they won't be looking for a lackey to do this, to come at the end and consult on whatever project they're working on. They'll be looking for an expert to come in and consult with them on whatever the AI tool they've used has done. I feel really strongly about that. If your tools, if your actual like craft is going to be more readily available, you should be looking to build out a consulting arm. And don't just give up your craft as a whole, because there will still be people that want to pay for the very best. And I highly doubt that AI is going to be able to give them exactly what they want, bespoke, custom, to a T, without a lot of frustration, because that means they'd have to sit there playing around with this interface. No, they'd much rather just bark instructions to you, the human, who's actually going to do it. And you'll be able to command a premium, because it's handmade, and we all know that the premium that gets supplied to things handmade. You call a fucking tomato ketchup homemade or handmade or fucking artisan. A bottle of Heinz is £3. I fucking saw a bottle of ketchup the other day, artisan homemade ketchup, for £10. I was like, you fucking lost the plot.
Yeah,
and there was less in it.
We buy a very expensive brown sauce from the supermarket. It's imported from the UK and it's handmade. It's homemade. It's artisanal. Who put the anal in artisanal? It's artisanal brown sauce, which is a fraction of HP or Daddy's. HP or Daddy's is a fraction of the cost of this anus stuff, Anus brown sauce.
Anus juice. That's what it is.
This is anus juice.
Yeah. Anal brown.
And the second thing, of course, moving on from that, is it's mass hysteria.